yeah, the first question is what kind of violin? So my beautiful violin is this electric violin that has 5 strings, and I chose this color blue, and I wanted to have a strap with it because I sing and play the violin at the same time too, and just so happy with the result. It's beautiful. Let's see. So the violin, piano, mandolin, guitar. Yeah, I would say that those 4 instruments are kind of like the stronger ones. Obviously violin was the first I started. Piano came quite not so much after that. It was like a way for me to accompany myself as a singer from very early on, and just like composing and doing the pop music. Even though with the violin too, I started doing pretty early, like the improvising and pop music and stuff. But I guess there was like no pressure in that when you were just doing your own songs and pop music. Staring at the sea of blood and crushed beneath, and I told you to be patient, and I told you to be kind, and I told you to be balanced. And then guitar came when I was a teenager, I think. Giving me a million reasons, about a million reasons, giving me a million reasons. If I had a highway, I would run for the hills. If you could find a driveway, I'd forever be still. But you're giving me a million reasons. And then later on in life, I realized like, oh, the mandolin has like the same strings as violin, so that's really cool for a violin player to try. I recommend. Like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean, you fill up my sense. And overall, I love the string instruments. Like guitar, I really love the sound, and yeah, I guess I'm just like always searching for new sounds. I don't have much prejudice when I'm grabbing a new instrument, you know, like I wouldn't say that I play the cello, I definitely don't, but you know, like I like to play around with it, or well, we had to learn some bass and drums at some point too, but you know, I would not brag with those skills, but yeah, I'm very like kind of open-minded with instruments and not putting myself into a box with them. I think life's pretty rich like that when you don't label yourself. I think at some point in my life when I have some direction where I'm gonna actually like settle down, and when I know what to do with my life. Maybe you don't ever, I don't know. Let's see how everything goes, but because I live quite a lot in the moment, and the tour life has kind of sticked with me. And future is of course at this moment pretty unknown for anybody in this field. But at some point in my life, I think maybe I need a place where you can really like do work at night as well, because I get inspired, well, daytime too, but like I think the night times is sometimes very cool moment to do music. And anyway, because you don't really choose like when the inspiration hits you that much, and I'd like to not stop it from coming, you know, so like yeah, I think at some point in my life I need a place where that's possible in the nights too. Let's see how in this new place how I can jam here, and will they kick me out? Delay or reverb? I love a big reverb. When you're improvising, it's like setting the mood so perfectly. You can kind of like enter this world, etherical world, where you just adventure. I'd say musicians who stay true to themselves are inspiring me. Like, for example, Beyonce, I feel like she's been very honest in her art, every age level that she's been in, you know, like living it and giving it to other people. And yeah, I love singer-songwriters. So I use effect pedals. As I mentioned, the reverb, I have that, and I think distortion is really nice. I love harmonies. That's something new that I'm kind of developing for myself and accompanying myself with. And yeah, I have a wah. That's kind of funny for me still. Every now and then I play around with it. Octaver. Yeah, I guess you're just like always looking for that like kind of layer. As a string player, you're so used to being with a group of people playing. So I'm always kind of, even with when I'm singing, I love to sing in harmonies with people, and now I have this looper that I can put many layers on top of it. You're kind of, especially in these times, you know, we're so isolated and everything, not really managing to be with people, play with people that much. You're kind of like trying to produce it yourself, those layers. Well, I think I do appreciate like all the seasons. There's some, I can always get inspired by the fall, for example, like new things, beginning of new things, the colors and everything. And then again, like spring, like everything's awakening. But I don't know, like after this long winter here in Finland, like the darkness, I think in the end, like I'm a child of the summer. I love the sun. And it's coming. Maybe in Finland we say summer is coming instead of winter is coming. It's more rare and more short here. At the moment I play with the same bow that I use for my acoustic violin. So it's the wooden bow, but I'm looking for a carbon bow for sure. Like I used to in a show called Volta where I played with Cirque du Soleil, I used to use Coda bow, which was really great for the electric violin. So something like that would be ideal, I think, for electric violin. But for now, I'm going with my wooden bow. So I started playing violin when I was 4. I think my mom kind of maybe tricked us with my friend together to the lessons. The first year we were together, I just remember me and my friend like jumping to the back of our teacher. It was like playing and stuff, and yeah, from there on it got more serious for sure. But yeah, I was 4 with the violin. Difficult question too. I mean, if I grab a violin, I usually start to just improvise something. But there is not the other one without the other one, you know, like, and if you want to do something together with people, you have to have the sheet music, like, or maybe you start building around that, but yeah, let's say if I grab this violin now, I would improvise something, if that answers the question better. So I think it was 2015 that Cirque du Soleil was here in Finland, in Helsinki, with another show called Kidam. And they had this open audition for Finnish people to apply as a musician. And I saw it in a Facebook ad. And at that moment, I didn't know anything about circus or Cirque du Soleil. It was like, I knew it by name, but it doesn't come here in the north like so often. I don't know it so well here. And circus, like in general, wasn't familiar for me. But I was like, I'm always so open to new things. So I was like, okay, let's see what this is. And then they kind of like accepted me to their bank of violinists and vocalists. And they were like, yeah, we'll call you maybe one day, you know, we might call you any year, any day, like to any country. And I was like, whoa, this is not gonna happen. Like it sounded pretty like out there. But then like 1.5 years later, they actually called me from Canada. I was like, no way, can this be? And they asked me for a couple audition clips more, and they were saying that they have this new show. At that time it didn't have a name. Later it became Volta. But yeah, they asked me to go to Canada and America to tour. First it was for 2 years. That was my first contract, but then I continued with them like 3 years, 3 months. We were touring North America, and yeah, up until this pandemic happened. And now I've been in Helsinki, Finland ever since that. So yeah, in Volta I was a singer and violin player and a character called Conscience, which I don't think nobody knew that it had a name, but it gave me direction. And me and this male singer, first Darius Harper, later Eric Deschamps, we were like kind of these characters inside the main dancer's was inside his head, kind of the conscience and the ego guiding him through his story. The main character was a story. It was a wonderful journey as to be involved creating that character since day one, when it didn't really exist, and we come onto these like kind of structures, but we can develop it together. And the music was by M83, Anthony Gonzalez, wonderful electronic pop music, and we could, together with the band, we could kind of make it alive and put our own input to it and improvise to it. And it's just such a unique process with Cirque du Soleil, how they create the shows. And the people, you come so close with them because you're seeing them like every day and you're living together. Maybe you go on a trip together, sometimes when we have holidays, and like they really become your family. And it's such a unique experience, like any other. Never lost someone like this. Oh, I know it. I was here for you. We made love. We made love. Oh, you would sing for me too. We made love. We made love. And I'm so grateful that I got to do it. Like honestly, I can't, like it's hard for me to even realize like what happened. Like there was so much going on, so wonderful things, wonderful places we went to, wonderful people we met. And yeah, I really hope to reunite with the people once more. If I could do it with somebody at this moment. I think James Bay or Damien Rice. Like, I love these like kind of sensitive singer-songwriters. And well, Dolly Parton would always be amazing to duet with. Favorite social media? Well, I like Instagram the most, I guess. Like, I'm not very frequent with my posts and stuff, but I like to see people's stories and I like to update my little stories. So I think Instagram would be the one that I like the most. Yeah, stress and nerves, that's a big thing for a performer. I think like the more you do it, you just like get used to it and you can like channel it in a positive way. So you can use it in your advantage. And we were doing like 8 to 10 shows a week, so you are really, it's like your second home in a way. And actually your actual home changes month to 3 months. So the stage and the artistic tent, which is like kind of like the gym, is like your home. It's something that sticks, it's something permanent. So you're very safe on the stage in a way. And you get used to it. I remember like I was nervous before premieres, or if there was someone like a celebrity in the audience or someone important to me, like family member or friends or teachers or whatever. That was like, then I could feel my nerves more. But I think that's a positive thing. I mean, of course, if it doesn't go like overboard, like you can really channel it well, because you need the electricity to perform and have that connection. And I do notice now that there's been this huge gap in performances now because of the pandemic. I get more, every now and then I've been having little video gigs and I notice like my nerves, you have to rebuild it in a way and do like breath work and the diaphragm, like to get it loose and everything, and kind of have those meditational moments to get in the zone. A new and glorious morn, fall on your knee. Oh, hear the angel voices, no night. So I think it's a matter of like, the more you do it, the more comfortable you are with it. And this is a very interesting time for us all, and horrible time that we can't perform. But also like, I feel like I've learned so much about how to rebuild again, like the confidence with performing or your actual skills and yeah, working with the nerves. Another instrument. I think I would just like get to know cello better, and then viola would interest me for sure. I guess like with this C string I can get pretty close to that. But yeah, always up for new string instruments. Well, I love to play with people in general. But there was this beautiful moment in the show that I was with, Cirque du Soleil, Volta, that I could like improvise with the violin, and like the whole crowd is, there was no sound, no other sound. It was like it was kind of like a meditation moment for me and the audience at the same time, and it was like magical every time, but as an experience with the audience. But then there was this one time where I really got into this kind of crazy flow state, and I felt like the time was kind of slowing down, and the lights were like incredible. that has stayed in my mind, and it has kind of like opened me up to do some research on this flow state and started all kinds of processes. But yeah, I mean, repetition can be like that can be difficult. It can get boring at some point, but like if you're improvising, it doesn't really get boring if you can do that in your show. And there's like magic in repetition in that sense, you know, like when you have done something for so long, you get very comfortable, and yeah, you can reach those magical points in a way that you're in another kind of world. Oh man, I can't choose to play or compose. It's kind of like the same thing for me, you know, like it's just something ringing in your head all the time. Okay, I was not prepared for this question. Maybe if I would have read this question before, I would have maybe got you a little instrument called kantele, for example, that we have in here in Finland that is gonna be in my album too, with Maija Kauhanen, my amazing friend. But since I don't have anything else very Finnish traditional, I will show you Karjalan piirakka, which is Karelian pie, and it's very traditional Finnish pastry, or how would you call it? It's like a salty thing with rice and this thing. I'm not a baker. So yeah, my violin here has 5 strings. I'm kind of getting to know this lowest one still, since it's a new one. But I love it. It's like reminding of the cello. It's like a really cool addition to the violin. Nope. I think luckily maybe so, because it could be a little bit difficult. I think it was Ostakaa makkaraa markalla ja kahdella ja paljon. No, couldn't have been that difficult. It must have been the sun. Aurinko, aurinko, korkealla taivaalla loistaa jo. Because you only need one finger. So yeah, in 2014 I did Voice of Finland, and that was like a leap. I remember that New Year's before it, I had this just a strong sensation all of a sudden, like, why couldn't I do it? Like, why wouldn't I try? I never wanted to do any show before, but it just like hit me from like a lightning from the sky. And those are those little sounds of your intuition just telling you, like pushing you forward, and they come at the time when you kind of like, even if you think you're not ready, I think you should always like listen to it. And it was super scary, and like all the interviews and everything else were like, I always loved music. That was like easy for me to perform, but all of a sudden you have to be kind of like a lot of things at the same time, and it's easy for you to imagine that you have to be put in a box, which is clearly a bit impossible for myself with all the styles and instruments that I love, and you know, I think it was really natural for me to end up in a circus, because like, yeah, it just fits me. Yeah, it was a huge leap for me to do, but I really, like, that was pushing me forward as a person, as a musician, put me on these like on those bigger stages and making it to the live rounds. That was a incredible experience, like to be with the big band, and I wanted to play the violin there too, even if that was a little bit brave to sing and play the violin, and but I kind of like, even if I'm this sensitive soul, I have this like very kind of courageous somebody, a lion there, like protecting the sensitive one, or maybe they're in balance nowadays, pretty much getting to be that, you know, like this is my way. And I'm so happy that I stick to it, doing the things in your own way. I think that's like what is like that everybody should follow your own way. And it's kind of like it's easy to get lost in those competition situations, and people are expecting for you to be something when all you have to do is actually to be yourself and follow that little voice inside of you. On my screen phone there is I was living with my parents for a while now before I moved here, and there was like this dog like right across the parking lot. There was another house, block of houses, where there was this dog who just came there and just was like watching people, like this white big dog. And he was like a pensioner, like he was like observing people and just like chilling there. Like he was amazing. It was like such a character. So I took a photo of it, and that's my screensaver. So from young age I've had these songs kind of come out of me. How would you say it? I guess you call it composing, or some kind of flow state that it is, that the music just like any art, it just runs through you without interruption. You know, you don't criticize it in between or anything. You're just like in your world. So that's been happening from young age, and I never kind of didn't know what to kind of do with them, or I didn't know what it means in a way. At some point in my life, I guess I started having this vision of like making an album, like that would be my dream. But it didn't necessarily have to be my own songs at that point. But when I went to Volta and I was touring, it somehow like a Cirque du Soleil, they gave me so much like uplift in the improvising side and what we were like as a unique person. So you don't have to be like the biggest voice, or like what you are is enough, and they wanted more of that, and that kind of like gave me confidence that my voice kind of matters, my songs matter. They might give something to somebody else, and it just came kind of like very clear that I want my own songs to be heard. And I had this friend who actually like secretly kind of like sent my songs to Nashville to these producers, Justina Kelly and Eddie Gore, without me knowing. And I was like a little bit like shocked. But I loved them, and we got to meet each other. I went there and we did first 3 of my songs. I loved that work with them and the style and everything. I went again like for 3 more songs, and then we continued working ever since then. So I've been working on my solo album, my original songs, with the production of Eddie and Justy in Nashville RCA Studios. Like during the tour, I went there, I flew there, and when the pandemic hit, it was kind of like in the middle of our album making. And a couple more songs, well, a lot of songs came out when the pandemic hit, as you can imagine, like how everybody wants to get those feelings somehow out. And I had this vision like, okay, let's continue remotely. Like, let's not let this pandemic kill our art and what we have been doing. Like, we can do this remotely too. We can record in our homes. And I have asked my friends to play and sing in these songs, also here in Finland and also around the world, like these circus friends that I've met, amazing musicians. So we continued working with Eddie and Justy, and yeah, we're in the final touch now, only missing a couple things. And during this year I will release my own album of original music, and I will play this wonderful 3D violin in a 2. So I hope you get to know my album and enjoy it.